So, good day ulit mga ka-sellers. I'm Karine, your accountant for today. Didiscuss naman natin ngayon is yung 8% income tax rate option for individuals. So, itong 8% na to, itong discussion na to is purely for 8% income tax rate lang. So, kung may mag-graduated ka, skip mo na lang muna tong topic na to. So, ito naman, parang in-depth tutorial lang to para malaman nyo kung ano-ano yung mga dapat tandaan with 8%. So, disclaimer lamang po, ito ay hindi absolute computation. Minsan nagkakamali tayo. May computation kasi sa dulo. Then, regulation may change from time to time. Ginawa ko tong video na to is March 2024. Kung may regulations after this, pwedeng magbago yung computation. So, this is based on BIR Revenue Memorandum Order and best of my knowledge. So, correct me na lang po if I'm wrong and para ma-correct natin sa ibang videos. So, for here, sa i-discuss natin ngayon is yung Revenue Memorandum Order 23-2018 na ginawa nung May 21, 2018. So, nagpa-prescribe to ng policies, guidelines, and procedures in the availment of 8% tax 8% income tax rate option for individuals earning self-employment and practice of profession. So, dyan ko yan kinuha. So, what are the policies and guidelines under 8% income tax rate option for individuals? In general, income from self-employed individuals includes single proprietor professional and mixed income earners is subject talaga siya sa graduated income tax. Ito siya. Ito yung graduated income tax na applicable 2023 onward. So, ayan yung, kaya siya sinabing graduated is from 0%, kasi 250 and below 0%, tapos nagiging 15%, 15%, 20%, 25%, 30% to 35%. So, graduated siya kasi nga, pataas siya. Habang tumataas yung income mo, tumataas din yung rate na applicable sa'yo. So, yon. So, in general yun So, for self-employed individuals earning income purely from self-employment business and or profession whose gross sales and other non-operating income does not exceed value-added tax threshold na 3 million. So, ibig sabihin, mga self-employed individuals na purely na sa business or profession nila na hindi pa VAT, which is 3 million, pwede kang, may option ka, di ba, in general, graduated tayo. So, here, may option ka na to have graduated income tax rate, yung katulad yung kanina, or the 8% tax on gross sales or receipts and other non-operating income in excess of 250,000 pesos in lieu of income tax graduated income tax rate and percentage tax. So, in lieu, ibig sabihin, kapalit ng graduated tax at percentage. So, 8% on gross sales in excess of 250 kapalit ng pagiging graduated income tax rate mo or percentage tax. So, individuals earning income, again, yung kanina is purely business income or professional. Ito naman, earning both compensation, which means employee ka, tapos self-employment, may business ka, or practice ng profession. Or, ang tawag sa'yo is mixed income earner ka. So, ano ba yung mga pwede sa'yo kapag mixed income earner ka? So, starting, compensation income mo, subject siya sa graduated income tax. Talagang kapag compensation ka, graduated income tax, yung compensation mo is graduated income tax na. So, two, since mix ka nga, yung compensation is graduated, yung business mo naman, pwede ka magpili ng, let's say, kapag, 'di ba, business ka, tapos yung business mo is, hindi nag-exist na exceed ng VAT threshold, which is the 3M, meron kang option for graduated income tax rate, yung diniscuss ko kanina, then, or 8%. So, yun. Pero, dito sa 8% na to, on gross sales, pero in lieu na lang of graduated income tax rate and percentage tax. Nawala na yung nandito na 250,000 na in excess. So, wala na siyang in excess. In lieu na lang ng graduated income tax rate and percentage tax. Kasi nga, yung 250 is pumasok na siya dito sa compensation income na yan. Kaya nawala na yung in excess of 250 dyan. So, dito, 'di ba, ito is do not exceed. Ito, do not exceed yan. Then, kapag nag-exceed ka naman sa VAT threshold, ang choice mo na lang talaga is graduated income tax rate. Bawal ka nang gumamit ng 8%. So, yun. Kapag 3 million pataas ka, gross sales mo, hindi ka na pwedeng gumamit ng 8% tax rate. So, the following criteria should be satisfied to be able to qualify and avail the 8% tax rate option. Una, kailangan, para makapag-avail ka or makakwalify ka as 8%, dapat individual ka. Hindi pwedeng corporation, partnership, yan. So, single proprietor, professional, mix, or income earner. Again, hindi pwede yung corporation. So, pwede kang mag-avail, makakwalify as 8% if, yun nga sabi kanina, did not exceed the 3 million VAT threshold during the taxable year. And, then, pwede kang mag-register, taxpayer registered and subject only to percentage tax. Or taxpayer exempt from BRAP or other percentage tax. So, parang ito din siya kasi kapag na-reach mo yung 3 million VAT ka na, pero kapag under ka ng 3 million, percentage tax ka pa. So, letter D, must have signified their intention to elect 8%. Kasi kapag hindi mo signify na 8% ka, graduated income tax rate ka na. So, dapat i-signify mo yung intention mo to elect the 8% tax rate. Yan lang siya. Tapos, the 8% income tax rate option is not available. Ito ay not available for not available to the following individual taxpayers and correspondingly shall be taxed based on graduated income tax. So, hindi ka pwedeng mag 8% kung ikaw ay purely compensation income. Purely. Kasi nga, yung sa compensation mo is dapat nakagraduated. Then, VAT registered. Yun nga, kapag VAT registered ka. Regardless of gross sales. Kasi may mga VAT registered entities na kahit hindi sila 3M yung gross sales, option pa rin nila or mas pinili nilang maging VAT registered para na rin sa mga suppliers and sa mga entity na kan-transact nila. Pwede naman yon. Tapos, taxpayers exempt from VAT or other percentage tax whose gross sales and receipt other income exceeded. Yan. Taxpayer ka, exempt from VAT or nag-percentage tax ka initially, pero biglang nag-boom yung business mo, umigsid ka ng 3 million. So, magiging VAT ka na. So, hindi ka na pwede mag 8%, magiging threshold during the taxable year, magiging VAT. So, mawala na yung 8% na tax na available sa'yo. So, taxpayers who are subject to other percentage tax, ayan, title vehicle, the tax code as amended. Ito yung mga iba't ibang percentage tax. Then, partners of the general professional partnership. Ba na yan? Tapos, individuals enjoying income tax exemption. So, may mga individuals na enjoying income tax compensation, bawal na silang exemption. Yan. So, bawal na silang gumamit ng 8%. So, like, si BMBE, exempted siya from VAT, exempted from income tax as those registered with Barangay Micro Business Enterprise or BMBEs. So, it's about to choice na made self privilege under, yun nga, exempt ka na, choice mo maging BMBE, choice mo ma-exempt. So, hindi ka na pwedeng maging 8%. So, the BMBE cannot avail both BMBE status, exempted from income tax, but liable to other internal revenue tax. So, and 8%, yan, in lieu of at the same time. So, bawal. BMBE cannot avail both BMBE and 8% at the same time. Yan. Since taxpayers are not allowed to avail double or multiple tax exemption under different laws. Yan yung ano niya. So, bawal ang BMBE na mag-opt ka pa din na 8%. So, ayun. Hindi ko masyadong kabisado ang BMBE law. So, we can proceed na with other topic. So, kapag nagkaroon ako ng kakilala ng may ng BMBE, baka pwede ko sa mostly kasi corporate and individual yung hawak namin na ano. So, at the beginning of each taxable year, all individuals are subjected to graduated income tax rate as provided under that as amended. At the beginning ng year, lagi tayong subjected to graduated income tax as provided. Yung table kanina. Lagi yun. Laging at the beginning of each taxable year. Parang ang presumption is graduated income tax rate ka. So, self-employed individuals who opted to avail the 8% income tax rate is effective only for the current taxable year where the election has been made and shall be automatically subjected to graduated income tax rate at the beginning of the succeeding taxable years. Yan siya. So, ang ibig sabihin niya dito, parang 8% ka for the year lang ngayon. Pero the next year, magiging graduated ka ulit unless i-opt or i-choose mo ulit yung 8%. Ganun siya. So, thus, the availment of 8% income tax rate option is required. Availment of income tax rate option is required to be signified and selected every taxable year if the taxpayer wishes to be covered by income tax rate. So, every year talaga kailangan nating i-signify. Saan natin isi-signify siya? Sa mga forms like 2551Q and 1701Q first quarter. Doon mo siya isi-signify na 8% yung ano mo. Kasi may mga option doon lagi kapag sa 1701Q, may option doon na you will be using 8% or graduated. So, every first 1701Q, dapat lagi mong i-choose yung 8% kung yun ang gusto mo for the whole year na. So, bawal magpalit-palit within the year. So, self-employed individual shall signify the intention to elect the 8% income tax rate in filing any of the following. So, kapag new business registrant ka, pwedeng upon registration, sabihin mo na or i-check mo na doon na 8% ka. Ito kasi registration yan, yung 1901 or the 1701Q. Or, on the initial quarter, ito nga yung sinabi ko sa inyo, na BAR Form 2551Q and or 1701Q of the initial quarter, ibig sabihin first quarter, after the commencement of the new business of practice or profession. Sample, kakagawa mo lang ng April, edi ilagpas ka na sa first first quarter of the year. So, second quarter, pwede mo pa rin siyang i-choose yung 8% kasi dun ka pa lang nag-start na magkaroon ng dun ka pa lang mag-start ng business mo. So, kung April ka nag-register by submission of the 2551Q on July, dapat ma-declare mo na 8% income tax yung kukunin mo. So, yun siya. So, for existing individual business taxpayers ka naman, nag-i-exist ka na, so, it's either mag-fill ka ng i-update mo yung 1905 at the beginning of the taxable year to end the date, the form type of yon. Kung lalagay, i-file mo to, application for registration information tatanggalin nila yung percentage tax. Provided that an option to avail 8% tax rate shall be selected in filing the initial quarterly income tax for income tax purposes. So, lagi, yun nga, sabi ko nga, laging sa initial quarter of the taxable year, then lagi sa income tax return, laging pipiliin na 8% yung option mo. So, first quarter of option yung option na 8%, i-click mo dun sa first quarterly percentage tax and or the first quarterly income tax return. Lagi mo i-choose kung 8% lagi yung may mga i-click doon na 8% yung gusto mong kunin. So, otherwise, kung hindi mo maklik yon sa first quarter mo, pag hindi talaga siya na-click or na-click mo is graduated, the graduated income tax rate shall apply. So, for the whole year, magiging income tax rate ka na kapag hindi ka avail ng 8% on the first taxable year. Ayan. The income tax rate option, once elected, shall be irrevocable and no amendment of option shall be made for the taxable year. So, sa taxable year na yon, kung ano yung napili mo sa first quarter, yun na talaga yon. For the year. Kunyari, ang napili mo sa 2024 is 8%. For the year, 8% ka na. Pero kung 2025, ang gusto mo is graduated ka, pwede kang graduated sa 2025. Ganun siya. Every year, pwede magbago. Pero hindi siya pwedeng within the year. Babaguhin mo siya. So, self-employed individuals who is qualified and availed of 8% rate option is, ito yung mga requirements. Kapag 8% na pinili mo, nag-avail ka at qualified ka, required to file the income tax return unless exempted by any revenue issuances. So, required ka to file quarterly. Maraming nagtatanong din dyan. Kasi yung first video ko is annually yung tinatanong nila kung hindi na ba magpa-file quarterly. Yun nga, need to file quarterly income tax return. So, ito required talaga to, annual income tax return. Yan, required tayo to file income tax return. Annual. Pero, financial statements is not required to be attached. So, hindi kailangan ng financial statement kung 8% yung option na kukunin mo. Again, kapag may may magsasabi sa inyo, ay, kailangan ng financial statement kasi 8% ka. So, dito, sinabi dun sa RMO na kanina, yung 2018, is hindi naman required i-attach. Yun. So, not required to file, yan nga, not required ka to file the percentage tax return. Required to signify the intention of the income tax every taxable year. Yan. Required to maintain books of accounts. Issue receipts and invoices. So, required ka pa rin talaga to maintain books of accounts and issue receipts and invoices. No option tayo dyan. Talagang kahit na 8% tax rate ka, ayaw mo magsulat sa mga books, hindi pwede. Kasi kailangan talaga siya. Kasi yun yung sabi ng regulation na memorandum order. So, yun nga, di ba sabi ko kanina, 250,000 reduction on the taxable gross receipts and other non-operating taxes. The provision under Section 20 of the Tax Code as amended, which allows an option of 8% income tax rate on gross receipts in excess, again, is available only for self-employed purely from self-employment and practice of profession. So, itong 250, yan, is not applicable to mixed income earners since it is already incorporated in the first year of the graduated income tax rate applicable to compensation income. In short, 250 allowable deduction is only for the purely business income if may salary ka, mixed income earner ka, hindi mo pwedeng i-less ang 250 dun sa business income mo. Okay? So, naka-ano naman yun sa ibang mixed income earner ko na video. So, ayan siya. For mixed income earner, the excess of 250,000 over the actual taxable income is not deductible against income from business, again, from business or profession under 8% tax rate option. The total tax due shall be the amount of tax due from compensation computed using graduated income tax. So, salary mo, graduated income tax. Then, yung employment of service, multiplication of 8% income tax rate on gross sales. So, wala na yung 250. Okay. Ulit-ulit. So, ayan siya. Ayan. Ito naman, a non-VAT income individual taxpayer who availed 8% income tax rate and subsequently his cumulative gross sales and or receipts exceeded the 3 million threshold during the taxable year shall be liable to pay income tax under graduated income tax rate. So, kunyari, June 2.9 pa lang yung 2.9 pa lang yung sales mo. So, for the second quarter, 8% ka pa. Pero, at the end of the third quarter, naging 3 million plus. So, hindi ka na pwedeng mag 8% tax rate. So, ang magiging option mo na lang is graduated income tax rate. So, ito. Sabihin niya, ay, nakapagbayad na ako ng income tax sa 8% ko. So, income tax shall be computed under income tax, graduated income tax rate and shall be allowed the tax credit previous quarter income tax payment under 8%. So, at the third quarter, graduated na yung ginawa mo. Tapos, di ba may mga payment ka for first and second quarter under 8%. Pwede mo siyang gamitin na pambayad dun sa graduated income tax rate mo. Siya. Taxpayer shall be required to update this registration immediately. Kapag lumagpas ka ng 3M within the year, kahit ano ka pa, kahit, di ba sabi ko kanina, pag 8% pinili mo, dapat 8% na for the whole year. Pero mag-iiba yon kung lumagpas ng 3 million. Kasi kahit saan sa year, kahit anong buwan sa year na yan, basta nag-reach ka ng VAT or VAT threshold na 3 million, no option ka na but to immediately update mo yung hindi ka na pwedeng gumamit ng 8% tax rate within the month. Following the month, she exceeded the VAT threshold. So, kunyari, yun nga, sabi ko, July, nag-breach ka na ng 3 million. So, kailangan mo nang i-update yung registration mo within the month, following the month. So, within the month. So, July, nag-breach ka ng threshold. Therefore, August, kailangan mo nang i-update yung registration mo. Sabi kasi dyan, immediately. Yan. Taxpayer shall be automatically be liable to VAT prospectively. So, prospectively, ibig sabihin, moving forward, hindi na kasama yung ibang ibang months. Kunyari, yun nga, July ka, taxpayer shall be automatically liable to VAT prospectively starting the first 5 of the month following the month when the threshold is breached. So, July ka nag-breach ng threshold. Ibig sabihin, following the month, ibig sabihin, August, first 5 days of the following month. Yon. August 5. kailangan liable ka na sa VAT. So, itatansya mo, this year ba, kailangan ko bang maging VAT registered o registered para hindi ka na mahihirapan sa, kasi immediately yung pag-registration ang hirap, parang ang hirap mag-transition agad to VAT. Pero yun nga, kung biglaan lang na, syempre, hindi naman natin may aasahan natin maglalaki or biglang nag-trending yung mo. So, ayan, pwede naman siya na mag-change agad to VAT. Basta immediately na mag-change ka sa VAT. The taxpayer shall pay the required percentage tax covering the sales receipt and other non-overing from the beginning of the taxable year of the until the time the taxpayer. Kasi 'di ba kanina 8% lang tayo. So wala dapat percentage tax. Pero dahil nga magiging graduated ka na for the whole year, kailangan mo nang bayaran yung percentage tax ng from the beginning of the taxable year until the time taxpayer. Kunyari, from January to June, kailangan mo nang magbayad. Kailangan mo pang magbayad ng percentage tax. Yan siya. So, a VAT registered person whose sales and or receipt nag-VAT register ka pero kasi 'di ba yung sales mo ng mga nakaraang taon is malaki. Tapos syempre pahina ng pahina. Tapos did not exceed na yung for 3 consecutive years, hindi na umaabot sa 3 million yung sales mo. So, meron ka ng option, basta naka 3 consecutive years na hindi umaabot ng 3 million, may update his registration from VAT to VAT, non-VAT, from VAT to non-VAT in order to qualify and avail 8% tax option on or before the first quarter of the taxable year, following rules and regulation. Yan. At the beginning of the taxable year siya, pwedeng i-avail na yung 8%. Basta 3 consecutive years, mababa yung sales mo ng 3 million, pwede ka na magpag-change from VAT to non-VAT, then choose mo yung option na 8%. Yun. So, yun yung mga basic, yung RMO natin. So, paano nga ba pipiliin sa percentage tax? So, kapag ang COR mo is meron nakalagay na 2551Q, kailangan mo to mag-fill. Tapos, pag wala naman, you may skip this. Kasi hindi naman registered dun sa COR mo na may 2551Q ka. Again, pag meron lang to sa COR. So, at the first quarter of the year, ayan, i-choose mo yung option na first quarter. Tapos, pipiliin mo to dito para ma-signify na 8% ka. Wala naman tong babayaran. So, lagi mo siyang isi-signify na ganito siya. So, for second, third, fourth quarter, pwede mo pa rin naman, since meron kang sa COR mo na 2551Q, pwede mo pang piliin, pwede kang magpasa neto na 0 lang. Yun nga yung sabi ng iba na, bakit yung iba nagpapasa ng, ng 25501Q second, third quarter, fourth, for safety purposes, nagpa-file sila nun para sure na walang open cases. Pero yun nga, nakasignify naman na you hindi nyo na need mag-file ng 251Q kung ikaw ay 8%. Pero yan nga, ito nga yung option mo. Kasi sabi naman dito, to be filled only, sabi dito, only on the initial quarter of the taxable year. Kaya, pwede mong, for safety purposes, pero pwede rin naman hanggang first quarter lang. Meron namang regulation regarding that. So, eto na. Computation na lang tayo dito. So, dito, ang computation, kasi yung sa mga previous video ko is quarterly lang. Quarterly. Annual yung ginagawa ko. So, dito, ang papakita ko kung paano yung computation for quarterly and annual. Ito naman, pag below 250K. So, ang sample natin dito is 240,000 annual gross sales natin. Annual yan. Sorry, nagkamali yung So, annual gross sales natin is 240,000. So, divided by 4, sabihin na nating below 2, below yan below. So, every quarter may 60,000 ka, 60,000, 60,000, 60,000. Bali, in 4 quarters, meron kang 240,000. So, sale for this quarter natin is 60,000. Then, ay, bakit ganyan? Mali yung spelling. Inayos ko na to eh. Basta, yan, cumulative sales natin. Ito nga. Yan, cumulative sales natin. Inayos ko na yung kanina eh. Anyways, cumulative sales natin for the first quarter, since first quarter pa naman to, 60,000, ay, yan ang lahat. 60,000 for the quarter. Yan. So, less allowable deduction natin na 250. So, in the first quarter, wala ka talagang babayaran. 190 negative 190,000 times 8%, 0. So, wala ka naman to 307 from Shopee kasi nga, below ka pa naman ng threshold ng 500k. So, for the second quarter, yung sales mo ng for the second quarter na 60,000, i-add mo yung sales mo ng previous quarter, which is the 60,000. So, ang cumulative sales mo na is 120,000. So, less 250 pa rin kasi yun lang yung allowed deduction natin. 130,000 pa din. 130,000 negative. So, 8%, 0 pa din. So, for the third quarter, 60,000. Tapos, sales mo from previous quarters, ito na siya. So, magkano na siya? 120, 180 na yung cumulative sales natin. Less 250,000. So, negative 70,000. Wala ka pa rin babayaran kasi naka-negative pa din. Kasi mas malaki pa rin yung allowable deduction natin. Then, for the annual income tax, ito, summary na siya. So, ang i-report mo na talaga dyan is yung annual sales mo. So, 240,000 na annual sales less yung allowable deduction na 250. So, negative pa din. So, wala ka pa din talagang babayaran kung, again, kung below 250,000 yung gross sales mo. Sorry. Yung gross sales mo. Again, wala kang babayaran for any quarters kung less than 250,000 yung gross sales mo. So, sample naman tayo if above 500k. So, dito, ang sinample natin is 800,000 annual gross sales. Ibig sabihin, 800 sa buong year. So, 800 divided by 4 para makuha natin yung first quarter, second, and third quarter. So, 200 per quarter. Sabihin natin, yan. First quarter, may 200,000 tayo. 200,000 na cumulative sales. Tapos, ang allowable deduction natin is 250. So, the first quarter, ang net income natin, net taxable income, subject to 8% is 0. Kasi, negative 50. So, ang tax due natin is, yan, is 8% of negative is 0. So, for the second quarter, 200 ulit. This quarter lang yan. Tapos, i-add mo ulit yung taxable income, ay sales mo ng last quarter na 200. So, naging 400 na yung cumulative sales mo. So, 400,000 less yung allowable, hanggang 250 lang kasi talaga siya, is equals to 150. So, ngayon, hindi ka na negative, but may tax due ka na. So, 8%, 150 times 8% is 12,000. So, 12,000 yung babayaran mo for the second quarter. Yan. So, for third quarter, may sales ka ulit na 200. Tapos, ang cumulative, sales from previous quarter is 400,000 from first and second quarter. Yan. So, ang cumulative sales mo na ay 600,000. For 3 months, for 3 quarters, meron ka ng 600,000 na cumulative sales. Tapos, 250,000 yung allowable. Then, yan nga, 600 less 250 is 350. Then, ang tax rate natin is 8%. So, may 28,000 yung tax due mo. Pero, yung 28,000 yan, since cumulative yung ano natin, ibabawas mo yung payments mo last quarter. Yan na. So, tapos, syempre, 600,000 ka na, magkakaroon ka ng 2307 from Shopee. So, bibigyan ka niya, sample, let's say, 2,700 lang yung binigay niya. So, pwede mo rin siyang i-less. Kasi yung 2307 is advance payment mo from Shopee na si Shopee ang nagbigay kay BIR. So, advance payment mo siya. Therefore, pwede mo siyang i-less dun sa total na tax due mo. So, 28,000 less 12,000 less 2,700, 13,300 na lang. Yung kailangan mong bayaran for the third quarter. Kaya lang i-compute ko lang. Baka magkamali na naman ako ng computation. So, 35,000, 350,000 times 0.8. Tama naman, minus 12,000, minus 2,7. Tama, 13,300 talaga siya for the third quarter. So, again, these three are the 1701Q. Ito siya. Pero, kung purely pala to is A to A. 1701A, kung purely ka, 1701A, pag mix ka, 1701. So, kung purely ka, ito na, sa annual na siya. So, ang annual income tax mo, ang annual sales mo is 800,000, less yung 250, edi 550. Times 8% is 44,000. 550 times 8%. Yan, 44,000. Less, ba yan? Nag-ano yan? Less yung, etong dalawa yan. Kasi ito yung mga payment mo from the previous quarters. Yan siya. 12,000 plus 13,300, 25,300 na yung nabayaran mo. Out of this, 44,000. So, binigyan ka ulit ni Shopee ng 900 pesos for the sales mo for the fourth quarter. Then, itong 27 is itong for the previous quarter. So, ito kasing dalawang to, advance payment mo siya. So, pwede mo siyang i-less dun sa total tax due mo. So, for the annual income tax return mo, ang babayaran mo na lang is 15,100. Yan. In short, ito pa rin naman yung babayaran mo for the whole year. Ito pa rin yung total tax, parang out of pocket na banayaran mo for the whole year. Na ano lang siya, na hati-hati. Dahil sa first and second, third quarter na income tax return. Kasi nga, kailangan din mag-advance ng collection ni BIR. Para hindi ka naman din mahirapan sa annual na medyo malaki na yung babayaran mo. So, yun lang for 8% income tax. Ano pa ba? Ano pa bang maisip nyong tanong? So, itanong nyo na lang sa comment section, no? Kung ano man yung mga naisip nyo pa na itanong. So, ang naisip ko lang is kailangan bang mag-record? May nagtatanong na kailangan bang mag-record with cash disbursement, sales, journal, cash disbursement, journal, and ledger kung 8% ako. Ang masasabi ko po kasi dapat talaga mag-record with that books. Kasi nga yun, tulad nga sinabi ko kanina, required pa rin talaga to keep the books of accounts para lang in case na mapuntahan kayo ni BIR, may laman. Kahit na hindi naman siya monitored talaga na every labas ng pera, nandyan yung ano, basta lang may laman or may naka-record dun sa books of accounts mo. Pero yung cash receipts natin, cash receipts books, or kung sales journal man yung napunta sa'yo, yun, dapat talaga monitored yun. Since yun yung magiging basis ni BIR kung magkano talaga yung yung sales mo. So, ayun siya. So, ayun lang. Tanong nyo na lang sa comment if may other tanong pa. So, ayun. Thank you for listening again. Thank you kung nakatulong po ako sa inyo. Please like, share, and subscribe para makatulong din po kayo sa amin na dumami ang subscribers. And share nyo na din sa iba para makatulong tayo lalo sa mga small sellers na gustong maunawaan yung 8% at litong-lito na. Pwede nyong isend to para makatulong tayo lalo na sa small sellers na hindi naman kalakihan yung ang tawag dyan, yung sales. Yun, salamat and God bless. Ang YouTube channel natin is Out Plus F Travel. Subscribe po kayo. Thank you. God bless.